Giving host back to you.
All right, great, thanks. All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning for some, good afternoon for others, depending on where you're coming in from. Hey, Tony.
How you doing?
Great. How about you?
I'm okay.
All right. Hey, Michelle.
Hello, wait.
Good to see you. Hey, Charlie. How are you?
It's supposed to be Pam. Hi, thanks.
Okay, I was wondering if that's the right one. 'Cause
No, it keeps switching on me. Okay.
I can switch it back for you.
Okay, thanks.
There are some female Charlies, but
Yeah, not this one.
all right. There you go, Pam.
Thank you.
All right, got you covered. Let's see, Rosalind, hi.
Hello.
Hi, and Sue.
Hi, Wade.
How you doing? Good to see you again.
Thank you. You too.
Pamela, hi. I got a Pam and a Pamela. That way I can keep you straight. All right, Sherry, you there?
Hi, yes, I am.
Hi, Sherry. Welcome.
Hi.
So
Thank
Janet
you.
came in. Hey, Janet. Always good to see you.
Hello.
Oh.
Anne, hi. Good to see you too.
Hi, last time I was in your class, I was doing it from a hospital bed.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
good to see you at home now.
Well, I am, and glad to be back in. Thank you.
Good. Always good to see you, but even better at home.
Thank you.
Hi, Val. How are you? And is it Salwa? Is that pronounced correctly?
Yeah, first time with you.
Hi, it's good. Welcome.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay, let's see. Patty, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, but yes, I am
Hi.
here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And let's see, Cassandra.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And here. All right, let's see. Who am I missing? Carol, hi. And it's like Jackie's come in. Hi, Jackie.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Peachy, are you there?
I'm here.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
At least it's afternoon here in North Carolina. Let's see, Janet, you there?
Yes.
You got two Janets today. All right. And Marlene. You there, Marlene?
Yes, I am here.
All right, great, great. Good to hear you. And let's see, Bonnie. Welcome,
Hello,
Bonnie.
good morning.
Good day to you. All right. I think I have heard from everybody that is here so far. We're probably going to have a few more people come in, but I usually give 4 to 5 minutes for people to get in. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my housekeeping here. I have a few more people come in. There's looks like Barbara's coming in right now. Give her a second to come in. Barbara, you there?
Oh, great.
All right. We're going to go ahead and mute everybody.
I'll take this off then.
Okay. All right. So I did mute everybody, and we'll probably end up muting everybody several times during the course of the class. So when you do have a question or comment, please just be sure to check and see if you are muted and mute yourself before you ask your questions. Can I hear you? Moving your pictures over here to my other monitor so I can see you all over here. Because we got a nice size class, more than will fit on my other screen. All right, I think there's everybody over there. Nice looking group. Okay, good. And I'm gonna open the chat as well. So the chat is open. So if anyone's having mic problems, you can get to us through the chat. Phil is here from our Get Set Up TA team, and he's going to be helping me monitor the chat, make sure we don't miss anything there. But if your mic is working, please just go ahead and ask your question out loud. That way everyone else can hear your question, and I will hear your question as well. But the chat is open if you're having mic problems or need to reach us via the chat as well. Okay, I think that is everything. Let's see if anybody else has come in. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and get started. This is Amazon Alexa, what it is and why you might want one, why you definitely want one. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy the class. My name is Wade Yarber, and I'll be the guide for the class this morning or afternoon. Briefly about me, I was born and raised in a small town in West Tennessee called Mason, Tennessee, about 35 miles outside of Memphis. I got my degree in psychology at Mississippi State and then went to West Virginia for my doctorate and taught in psychology early and late in my career. Most of my career, though, was spent designing, installing, and training doctors and nurses how to use hospital information systems. So I've done a lot of adult training throughout my career. But what I like best about teaching now with Get Set Up is that I'm teaching people that are in the class because you want to be in the class, not because your employer told you you had to attend the class. And that's really what we try to do at Get Set Up. We try to create an environment where you can take classes that you want to take, along with other people that are interested in the same topic, so you can interact with each other, as well as interacting with the guide. We do try to make it a safe, interactive environment. This session is being recorded, and any participant can get a copy of that recording by sending an email to help@getsetup.io. I'm going to put that in the chat as well, so that is now there. If you don't have that email address, be sure to copy that and put it into your email contacts. During the closing slides at the end of class, I'll go over some other ways where you might want to use that email address, but that's pretty much your one-stop shopping for any questions, comments, concerns that will get to get set up and be routed to the right person. We are also live streaming the class today, so I do want to also welcome anyone joining us via live stream. Thanks for attending. Hope you enjoy the class as well. However, I do want to stress that the only way to get that full get set up experience that I described, where you can interact with the other participants and interact with the guide, is to go to our website and register for the class. So we hope you'll do that as well. And finally, Get Set Up is not paid by Amazon or any of the other vendors and products that we train on. We are purely trainers. So let's take a look at the agenda for today. This is the introductory Alexa class. And so by the end of the class, you'll know about Alexa and Alexa enabled devices out there, how to install Alexa if you don't have one already installed and set up, how to customize Alexa. We'll talk about some of the common Alexa commands, and also how you can use Alexa to communicate with other people as well. So let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about Alexa. And Alexa is what's called a voice assistant. And the basic premise of voice assistants are pretty simple. You ask it a question or you give it a command, and it typically responds back to you verbally. There are several different voice assistants. If you're an Apple person, you probably have met Siri. Alexa and Siri are very similar in a lot of ways. Google also has Hey Google. Alexa was unveiled to the world in 2014, so she's been around a while for technology. And there are currently over 100 million Alexa-enabled smart devices in use around the world and growing rapidly. There are a lot of different Alexa devices. Sometimes they're also called Alexa-enabled devices. Most of them, originally you had to get them from Amazon. Now there are other ways to get Alexa-enabled devices, but the Amazon devices are all called Echo. And we're going to go to Amazon. And kind of review the devices in case, again, you're new to Alexa, don't have a device, or maybe you have one and you're looking for other options and alternatives. The smart speaker was the original iteration of Alexa. This is the Generation 2 version of Alexa Echo. It was called the hockey puck because it looks a little bit like a hockey puck. The only difference between the Generation 3 and the Generation 2 and the Generation 3 is the Generation 3 is fabric covered. And I think there are still some of those I can show you. This is the Generation 4, the most current version, and they've gone from the hockey puck shape, I'm showing on the camera, to a spherical shape. I think that probably has better sound. I can tell you going from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3, there was a distinct improvement in sound quality, especially playing music. I don't have one of these yet. It's on my Christmas list. So, but I'm assuming it will have even better sound than the Gen 2 did. This is pretty much the entry point for the Echo. This is called the Echo Dot. If you want to bump up a level, and actually there's now an Echo Dot Premium, which has better sound quality, the same form factor, but the price is significantly higher, from $40 up to, oops, click too far, to $99. But if you want to go with the full high fidelity, you can get the Echo Studio, which is hi-fi with 3D for an even higher price tag. This is the third generation. Again, you can see it looks like my second generation, but it's cloth covered. I have two of these, and they are still for sale at a very good price right now, since they are a generation old. But you can also now get Alexa-enabled devices that are not made by Amazon. So you can get Bose speakers that are Alexa-enabled, Sonos speakers, Marshall speakers. So lots of different speaker manufacturers are now Alexa enabling their devices. So you can get a lot of different variety, as well as even higher quality sound, if that is one of your key criteria. Now, the next iteration above smart speakers are smart displays. I like to use this one as an example. A smart display is basically a smart speaker that has a tablet stuck to it, and that's really what this one looks like. They've got them from the size of a smartphone. This is 5-inch up to the 10-inch here. And of course, as you can see, the difference being not only will Alexa talk to you, but Alexa will display information on the screen. So in addition to telling you what the temperature is, she'll put it on the screen, show you the radar, whatever. And again, there's a number of different variations in terms of the show as well. And now Alexa's available lots of different ways. This one is really intriguing. These are Alexa enabled eyeglasses, so you can actually hear Alexa and talk to Alexa through the eyeglasses. I'd love to try those. I haven't tried those yet. Earbuds, there's a Echo Auto to put in your car to talk to your Bluetooth in the car. And again, watches, headphones, pretty much anything you can imagine now. There's an Alexa enabled version of it out there. Now, there's one other variation that I wanted to show you as well, which is the Echo Flex, which is, you can kind of see from the picture here, it just plugs into an electrical outlet. So it's very small, compact. It also is fairly inexpensive. It's $24.99. But they're really nice. You can put one down in the garage, put one in the shop, put one in the bathroom. You can put them in other places. There's some advantages, and we'll talk about them later in class, of having Alexa devices in your home such that any place in your home, you can say, Alexa, and she'll hear you. And these are a good way to do that. Now, this isn't your best option for sound quality. The speakers are obviously very small, but for talking to Alexa and having her answer you, they work great at about half the price of a Echo speaker. And I was just on Amazon the other day and spotted this. I was going to show you this as well in terms of, this is $24.99. For the same price, you can now get an Echo Flex with a smart light bulb. So they're basically throwing in a free smart light bulb for a limited time. So that's a nice little deal. We have a class called Introduction to Smart Homes, where we talk about how you can use light bulbs and switches and doorbells and attach lots of other things that Alexa can control for you. But I just want to mention that one if you're looking for a deal. Questions about the devices themselves before I move on? Is there anyone that does not have an Alexa already? Okay, a few people. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go there. Is there anyone that can't see my phone over here before we get any further? Are pictures covering my phone? If they are, let me know, and I can tell you how to move the pictures around, because you will need to see my phone. All right, let's go back to the slides. So that's about the Alexa devices. You obviously have to have a device in order to use Alexa. So let's talk about setting up your Echo device or other Alexa enabled device. I'm going to use the Echo, to imply any Alexa enabled device, even though you can, as I mentioned, you can get Bose speakers that are not Echo, but we'll use Echo for the class. And what you need, if you're just getting started, you don't have Alexa yet, you do have to have an Amazon account. It does not have to be Prime. It can be the free account, but you have to have an Amazon account. You have to have an Echo or some other Alexa enabled device. You need to have a device with the Alexa app installed. Here's the Alexa app over here on my iPhone. So you just have to go to your app store, whether it's iPhone or Android, download the Alexa app and get that installed on your phone. You have to log into it with your Amazon account. And if you have more than one Amazon account, you have to use the same Amazon account for the Alexa device and for the app. And then you have to have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is how Alexa communicates with the Amazon data center. So you have to have Wi-Fi, and to set it up, you need to know what the username and password is for your Wi-Fi. But beyond that, it's pretty simple. And I forgot to do one thing. Let me stop sharing and reshare so I can turn on my sound so you can hear what I'm getting ready to play. So So it's a short video from Amazon's website about how to set up an Echo. I'll let them tell you themselves.
Set up your Echo. Before setup, download or update the Alexa app in your device's App Store. To set up the device, plug in your device. Open the Alexa app. Go to the More menu. Select Add Device. Select Amazon Echo. And then Echo, Echo Dot, Echo Plus, and more. Follow the instructions to complete setup of your device.
Pretty second, 32 seconds worth of instructions, and it is almost that simple. The good thing about a voice-assisted device is that once you get her turned on, she walks you through the install process. The next step in the process from the video is to get your Wi-Fi connection established. That's where you need the username and password. And from there, it's pretty much set up. So those of you who have set it up, hopefully agree that it's a very simple installation. Doesn't require a lot of technical knowledge to get your device up and running. And as soon as you do that, you can start talking to Alexa using commands and she'll understand you. So there's nothing else that's required beyond that basic setup. However, there's things you can do to customize Alexa, which will make your experience richer and more valuable, hopefully. So I'm going to show you how you can customize your Alexa to get more value from her. And we're going to go over to the phone at this point. And so I'm going to go ahead and launch the Alexa app here. Let me slide this all over just a little bit to make it a little easier to see, get it closer to the center of the screen. All right, so I'm going to
Wade,
yes.
do you have to do it on on a phone or a device, or can you do it on a desktop?
You can, there is a website, but, and that's how you used to do it. And when I got my first one many moons ago, you used a website. Now you really need to use the app. There is still a website, but there's certain things you can't configure with the website. It can only be configured through the app. Now the app will work on a tablet. If you got an iPad or an Android app, you can install the app on a tablet and use that.
Okay.
Or more, they are making you use the app to configure it.
Okay.
I think the website, yeah. And we're going to use the app today. So I've gone into the app, and just like they did in the video, the first thing you do is click the More down here at the bottom right. And that gets you into the settings. And settings tab is right here. I'm going to scoot it up just a half an inch. Is right here. It's at the bottom of the screen. So we're going to settings. And the first thing we're going to do is talk about configuring your music, because what lots and lots of people do, if some people, they don't do anything else, is they use Alexa for music. So we're going to scroll down here until we find music and podcasts. And we're going to click there. And what we're going to start with is linking music services. And so you'll see link new services, and there'll be a plus sign over here. If you're just starting, all you'll see down here is Amazon Music. It starts automatically linked to Amazon Music, the basic version, which is also free. There are several premium versions of Amazon Music, which obviously have a wider selection of music and some functions and features that Alexa will remind you about. But you can also link to other music services. And you can see I've got Apple Podcasts linked. I've got Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Audible. So you can link other music services to Alexa. To do that, you just click the plus sign over here. Anytime you see the plus, that basically is how you add something to Alexa. And it'll show you any link services you're not currently using. So there are still 6 that I don't use. So if I had an account to Spotify and I wanted to link to Spotify, I could click here. So now you have to have an account to all these. These don't come with Alexa. This is a separate account that you're linking in. So you'd have to have an account. And if that account costs money, like SiriusXM, requires a subscription fee, you have to have that subscription fee to Sirius. This is just a way to link to other music services you already are using or you want to use. Questions? Does that make sense? So you would click here and it would come up with a screen where you can enter your username and password and link to that other service. And then it would show up down here in this list of services. Now, the biggest difference is that if you're going to use one of the other services, you have to call it out by name. So for instance, if I wanted to play James Taylor using Amazon, I would just say, Alexa, play songs by James Taylor. If I wanted to use Pandora, I would say, Alexa, play songs by James Taylor on Pandora. So you would say own and then the name of the other service, or play on iHeartRadio, play classical music on iHeartRadio. So you have to tell her what service to use. Otherwise, she will default to your default service, which initially is Amazon. You can change the default up here. If you want Pandora or Apple Music or whatever to be the default, you can change that. And again, the only thing that does is that that's the one she'll use automatically if you don't tell her the name of something else. Yeah, question, Rosalind?
What's default services? The word default, I'm very confused.
That's what it uses. If I just if I say, Alexa, play songs by James Taylor, she'll use the default, and Amazon Music is the default. So I don't have to say anything else. If I wanted to use Pandora, I'd have to say, play James Taylor on Pandora. If I make Pandora default and I say, play James Taylor, she'll play James Taylor on Pandora.
So is the key that you have to say the word, oh, sorry.
So
Sorry about that.
Default means
The one it uses automatically.
Register.
Yeah.
What's
It's-
default means? Means register.
Yeah, it's the one it's going to use unless you tell it to use something else. It's the one it automatically uses.
Oh.
Okay. Somebody else had a question. Was that Patty?
No, yeah, it's
Okay.
me, Pam. So do you have to say the word play? Because like, let's say I said, what is 2.5 cups equal? Or something like, what if it's not music related?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, this is just the music related one. So
But
to
how
play
does
music,
Alexa-
you have to say play.
Play, okay, that's what I wondered. Thank you.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about how the commands around music in a few minutes. This is just kind of getting it set up and ready for that. Yeah, we'll talk about all those, well, not all those commands. There's tens of thousands of them, but I'll show you how they work. All right. If there's no other questions about music, let's go talk about calendar and email. And so I'm going to go all the way back out just to kind of get you used to coming in from the home screen. So I'm back to the home screen. I'm going to touch more again and go to settings again, but this time I'm going to calendar and email. And so I click that. And this is where you can link your calendar and email services. I'm going to click on accounts here. That's how you would set it up. So I've got 2 accounts already set up. If you didn't have any accounts set up, it would just have add account with the plus. You would click the plus and link to whatever you want to use for your calendar, whatever you're using for your calendar.
Wade, can you show how to get into that again?
Let me go all the way out. So again, bottom right, more. Scroll down just a tad to settings. And then scroll down till it says calendar and email. Did I miss it? Oh, there it is. Calendar and email. And then you can pick one or more accounts. It's much simpler if you just use one, and most people only use one calendar anyway. So, but what that will let you do, and I'm gonna go back to the home screen here. You can say, Alexa, what's on my calendar?
Wade, here are your next 4 events. Why Amazon Alexa May Be Your New Best Friend is in progress and ends at 2:30 p.m. Tomorrow, at 9:30 a.m. there's
stop.
WhatsApp.
So you can have her read off what's on the calendar. You can put things on your calendar. You can say, Alexa, add an appointment Wednesday at 3 a.m. to meet with Robert, and she'll put that on your calendar. So it comes in, especially having her read your calendar, I found to be pretty helpful. But that's, the reason, if you want to integrate your calendar, that's how you would do that. Questions about that one? All right, let's keep going. We've got lots more to go. Okay, flash briefings, again, is one that most people find helpful. I use it all the time as well. It's easier to show you what this is and try to explain it, so I'm just going to go there. We're going to go to more settings again. And this time we're going to scroll down till we see news. And it's right here. It's right below music and podcast where we were a few minutes ago. So here's news. And here's flash briefing. I'm going to go in and edit the flash briefing. So by just using commands, and commands work just out of the box. Once you plug Alexa in and get her set up, you can start issuing commands. What a flash briefing does, it takes multiple commands and strings them together. There's something called routines that we talk about in the Alexa Intermediate class that does the same thing. So this is a routine. But if I wanted to hear all of this information while I'm having lunch, instead of saying, Alexa, play BBC World News, and when she finishes saying, Alexa, play Happy Headlines, and when she finishes, say, Alexa, play, you get the idea. By saying, Alexa, play my flash briefing, she'll start and she'll play each one of these in series until she's done. These are all updates, so they all last about 3 to 5 minutes, somewhere around in that area. It's very easy to change what's in your flash briefing. If I don't want to hear BBC World News service any longer, I've gotten tired of it, I can just take my finger and slide this to the left and take it out. It now drops down here to where it says off. These are ones that you've had that you've turned off. So you can take something from down here and bring it back. What happens to me, and I think it's why they do it this way, I'll play something for a while and I'll get kind of tired of it. So I'll turn it off for a few months and then maybe I'll decide to bring it back. So maybe I want to put Today in Music back up there again to hear what. So that moves it up to the top. It's back in my flash briefing now.
Wade, how did you get those in the flash briefing? Are those or automatically in the app, or
good question.
Those listed?
That's where we're going to go next.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So when you first get here, this will be blank. And so what I always say is make a really big, strong cup of coffee and click the plus sign. So again, anytime you see the plus, that's where you can add content. Because when you click the plus, there are 12,078 choices to put in your flash briefing. So it's going to take you a while to look at all of them. Good news is you don't really have to do all of them. You don't have to check all of them, obviously, but the point is that there is a lot there. And so pretty much anything you're looking for is going to be on there. There was a question in the chat about the flash briefing before I go, and it says over here, play flash briefing. I think someplace else it says play my flash briefing. One thing about Alexa, and I've been using her a long time, initially you would have to say it exactly the right way. So if you said play, they should say my though, instead of by, but now you could say play the flash briefing, play my flash briefing. She tends to understand things even if they're not exactly the same way every time. But yeah, this is a typo. That should be play my flash briefing. So this brings you up to a huge list. A couple of ways to get around the list. You can sort it. It defaults to featured, but you can sort it by average customer review, which is what I often do, the ones that have the highest ratings. Probably more valuable is you can search. So if there's something in particular you're looking for instance, you like NBC News, you can type NBC. And then click NBC News. And this will show you all the NBC News options, because what it does, it has local news. So if you're in South Florida and you listen to NBC6, you can have Alexa play your local NBC News station's flash briefing, as well as lots of other things like you probably saw in my flash briefing. You can have word of the day, this day in history, good news. Yeah. Well, lots and lots of stuff in there. So that's the reason for the big cup of coffee, because it is fun just to kind of sort through it and see what's in there. Questions about the flash briefing? Okay, so those are ways you can kind of customize Alexa. Again, none of that is required. You can use Alexa right out of the box without any customization, just by using the Alexa commands. And a command is basically where you would ask Alexa something or tell Alexa to do something, and she responds. And there are literally thousands and thousands and more being added all the time. I've added a few of the ones I like, just to kind of tweak give you some ideas of what you can do. For instance, what time is it? You can ask her what time it is. You can set reminders. I set lots of reminders. So you can say, set a reminder for 2 o'clock tomorrow. You can also set repeating reminders. I know some people have said if they need to take a pill at 10 o'clock at night, you can say, set a reminder at 10 o'clock for take my pill daily. And every day she'll remind you to take your pill at 10 o'clock. You can set timers. We throw away all of our kitchen timers. You can say, Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes. You can have multiple timers running at the same time. You can say, Alexa, set a tea timer for 3 minutes, and then set an egg timer for 12 minutes. So if you give the timer a name, when that timer expires, she'll say, your egg timer has expired. But weather forecast, I do at least 5 times a day. I'll ask Alexa, and you can have variations of that. You can say, Alexa, what's the weather forecast? Alexa, is it going to rain? So again, more and more you can talk to her like a real person. It gets a little scary. You can check weather other places. If you happen to wonder what the weather's like in Paris, France, you could say, Alexa, what's the weather in Paris, France?
Right now in Paris, France, it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Tonight's forecast has just a few clouds in the sky.
Okay, you get the idea. She's got recipes for anything you can imagine. You can say, Alexa, how do you make chocolate chip cookies? She can convert ounces to liters, yards to metric systems, just by saying, Alexa, how many ounces in 2 liters? And one of my favorite ones, she can keep to-do lists for you. For instance, I keep my grocery store list on Alexa. So I could say, Alexa, add bananas to the grocery list.
I've put bananas on grocery.
So if you're in the kitchen cooking and you take the last banana, you can just tell her to put it on the grocery list. Or if you're in another room and you think of something you want, you can tell her to put it on the grocery list. When you get to the store, take out your smartphone and just touch the grocery list here. It has everything that you're going to buy. Here's the bananas I just put on there. So as you're shopping, you just touch the little box there, and it takes bananas off your list. It shows down here as completed. And when you've ticked off everything, you can go home. Now you can have more than one person using the same Alexa. My wife and I use the same one. So maybe she left 5 minutes ago heading to the grocery store, and I realized we're out of bananas. I can just tell Alexa to put it on the list. When she gets to the store, it'll be there. So, and you could have more types of lists. I'm going to click down here on more again and go to lists. And you can see I've got a hardware store list, a Walmart list, a grocery store list. You can make up as many different types of lists as you want to. To do is the default. So it comes by default with shopping and to do. But you can make up, these are my lists. These are the ones that come with Alexa. You can make up as many as you want. Questions about any of that? And does anybody else have any favorite commands they want to share? Okay.
To add a type of list, do you just say add, I don't know, a specific to-do list?
Yeah, you can. Oops. And we're getting a little.
About 20 minutes.
Let me mute. We're getting a little back echo there. But yeah, let me just let me do this. I'll demo. Alexa, put aspirin on the pharmacy list.
I couldn't find a list called pharmacy. Should I create one?
Yes.
I've created pharmacy list and added aspirin to it.
There's my pharmacy list and here's my aspirin. So, yep, you don't have to go set up anything. More and more, Alexa will set things up. A few years ago, you would have had to come into the app and add it through the app like we were doing earlier. Now, if she doesn't see something, she'll ask you, do you want me to set that up for you? And she'll set it up for you herself. She's getting more helpful as time goes on. Good question. Thank you. All right, let's talk about music. Because that is one of the things that most people really enjoy Alexa for, and because there's so much you can do. And especially if you're using Amazon Music. Obviously, Alexa works best with Amazon since Amazon makes Alexa. So some of these commands will work with Pandora or other services, but they all work with Amazon Music. You can change the volume. You can say, Alexa, increase volume, and she'll just bump it up one notch. Or you can tell her where to set the volume that goes from 0 to 10. So you can say, Alexa, set the volume at 7, and she'll bump it up to 7. You can say, Alexa, play songs by James Taylor. You can say, Alexa, play songs by artists like James Taylor, and she'll play music by artists similar in style to that person. She knows about albums. You can say, play the album Dark Side of the Moon, and she'll play the album straight through. If you like the album, but you're tired of hearing it in the same order all the time, you can say, Alexa, shuffle songs from the album Dark Side of the Moon, and she'll play the songs in a random order. If she's playing the album already, you can just say, Alexa, shuffle, and she'll start shuffling it mid-play. You don't have to start all over again. If you're like me, lots of times you like everything on the album, but maybe 2 songs. So when one of those songs you don't like starts playing, you can say, Alexa, I don't like this song, and she'll mark it and won't play it anymore. Love this one. You can say, Alexa, who is this? If she's just randomly playing things, she'll tell you who the artist is, what the song is, what the album is. And if you like it and want to hear more, you can say, Alexa, play the whole album, and she'll switch and now start playing that album from that person. And you can create all sorts of playlists. And when a song is playing, if you like the song, you can say, add to my instrumental favorites playlist. Just like we did with this list, if you don't have an instrumental favorites playlist, she'll say, I don't see an instrumental favorites playlist. Do you want me to create one? And she'll go ahead and create those playlists on the fly for you. Questions about music, or anybody else have a music one you want to add? Okay, let's keep going. All right. So a couple other things I want to tell you about, 2 other things. One is, so you can use Alexa it's something called drop-in. It's really like an intercom. So if you remember intercoms back in the olden days, it does the same thing. It's called a drop-in. So for instance, I using my Alexa, we have 3 Alexas, one in my office, one in the kitchen, and one in the bedroom. So if I'm in here in my office and I know my wife's in the kitchen and I have a question for her, I can just say, Alexa, drop in on kitchen. It'll open a connection between my Alexa and her Alexa, and I can talk to her. And she can obviously talk back. It's just an open channel like an intercom. It is an open channel, so people with kids lots of times use it to check in on the kids. So if they're hearing noise upstairs in the kids' room, you can drop into the kids' room, listen to see what they're saying. When you're done, you can say, Alexa, hang up, and it'll close the connection. Now there's a special case of drop-in called Announce. And if you use Announce, what it will do is it will drop into all the Alexa devices in the house. And so it's used for something like dinner's ready. So you can say, Alexa, announce dinner is ready, and she'll say dinner is ready on all the Alexa devices. Now, some people are a little nervous maybe about the fact that people can drop in on them whenever they want to. You can stop drop in by saying, Alexa, turn on Do Not Disturb. So let's say I'm going to have a nap in the bedroom. So I can say, Alexa, turn on Do Not Disturb, and it'll turn off the ability for anyone to drop into that Alexa device in the bedroom so they don't wake me up while I'm having my nap. When I'm finished, I would just say, Alexa, turn off Do Not Disturb, and it re-enables drop-in. So pretty simple, works just like an intercom, but it's really nice, especially if you got a 2-story house. One other nice thing is that you can use it from your phone. So if I'm out in the yard, or maybe I'm somewhere in town and coming home, and I want to talk to my wife, instead of calling her on the phone, I can just drop in, and by clicking communications down here, and I can hit drop in and talk to her in the house. So it does work using your phone as an Alexa device as well. The last thing I was going to tell you about is using Echo to phone calls. And this is using Alexa basically for a hands-free phone. So I'll give you one example. I'm in the kitchen working on something. My hands are really dirty, but I need to call someone. I need to call my wife and tell her something. I can just say, Alexa, call Michelle, and she will call Michelle's phone. You can call mobile phones and landlines. It works with the landline. So if you need to call your insurance agent, you can say, Alexa, call Johnson Insurance, whoever your insurance agent is. It has to be in your contacts to do it by name. But if they're not in your contact list, you can do it by number. So you can say, Alexa, call 919-555-1437, and she'll call that phone number, landline or cell phone. Another scenario that I'll throw out, which I think is very important, is I'm in the kitchen cooking and there's some stuff fell on the floor and I slip and fall down and break my leg. My phone is up on the counter. I can't get up to get to my phone to call for help. All I have to do is just say, Alexa, call Michelle, and I can call and get help. Which is why I was talking about the Flex, which is a pretty easy way to have these little Flex devices so that no matter anywhere in my house, I can say, Alexa, and she'll hear me. Now you can't say call 911. It does not call 911, but you can put your ambulance service in there, your doctor in there, the police department in there. You can put, any phone number you want to put in there. At this point, it just won't, you can't say call 911. And when you're done, you just say, Alexa, hang up. There's a question about answering a call. Now, and you can call to an Alexa device. So in that case, you would let but you don't have to answer it. If someone calls into your Alexa device, it's just going to ring and they're just going to be there. So in this case, you're calling out and you're calling to their cell phone, and they would just answer it like any other call. It's not obvious, that it's Alexa calling. In fact, it'll use your cell phone number as the incoming call number for the cell phone that you're calling. So they'll know it's you calling, but they don't know that it's via Alexa as opposed to from your cell phone.
But if you are getting a call, can you say, Alexa, answer the phone?
I've never had a call come into Alexa other than via the drop-in. I think there is a way to call an Alexa device, but I don't think it rings. I think it just opens up. That's a good question, but I'm not sure how that works. I've never had a call come in. Yeah.
Wade, if you start off with if you connect your Alexa to your Bluetooth on your phone, it's involved with anything you do on your phone. Like when I set my Bluetooth to connect to my Alexa, I can say, read my Kindle book, or she's totally involved with that. I can make a call through that the same way.
Using your phone?
Yeah, the cell phone.
You can, it doesn't do everything that the Echo device, does, but it does almost everything. There's some things you can't do from the phone, but most things you can do from the phone. Yeah, it is another Echo device, basically.
But you have to Bluetooth it, connect the Bluetooth.
Nope. No, I can be out in the yard and pick up my phone and call and drop into the house from out in the yard. Well,
oh, that's what drop in. I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant.
But you have to have Bluetooth to get to initially do the setup. But after that, it's working via Wi-Fi.
Oh yes.
So you have to be in a Wi-Fi range. But
thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, this is Jackie. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I have set up my Alexa from my, let's say my tablet, I also want to be able to control it on my laptop. So is that just a matter of downloading another app?
Yes, that's correct. So I've got Alexa on my iPhone. I also have a Kindle Fire. It's on my Kindle Fire. My wife has it on her phone and her Kindle Fire. So we've got 4 different Alexa apps. So you can use any one of those. And you don't have to have any of them. So it's not using your phone once you've got it set up. So if I turn off all the phones and all the tablets, Alexa still works. So she's not going through my phone when I'm using her. It's just used to get through the setup. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It doesn't require the phone once you set her up.
Yes. Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Pamela.
Yes. I have an Apple iPhone and I have Siri on there. So what's the significance of me having Alexis? Because it sounds like they do about the same thing.
On the phone, they pretty much do. Hold on 1 second, we're getting an echo again. But the difference being using the Echo devices. So if you've got these Echo devices all around your house, just from anywhere you are, you can use Alexa and you can talk to the other devices. So there's things that you can't do, but just in terms of issuing commands, Siri is also a voice assistant. So it's very similar.
Wade, how do I connect I have 3 dots and 2 Alexas. And one of them is to my auntie. When I play my music, if I connect them all, if I play my music, can I cut off where she doesn't get the same music? She likes to play her music. So I want to know, is there any separation, or can I name each one so that I can cut it off when I don't want it grouped?
Yes. So you name each one of the devices. I think it makes you name them, but let me just go in here to devices quickly. And so like, here's the 3 that I've got.
Okay.
One of them is called kitchen, one's bedroom, one's office. But normally if you tell it to play music, it's only going to play it on the one you're talking to. So if I'm in the bedroom and I say, Alexa, play classical music, she'll just play it on that one you were talking to.
Okay, how do
Now
I?
you can say, Alexa, play classical music everywhere, and it'll play it on all three.
Okay, so how do I set it up to name it?
When you have to go in where I just did, and this is maybe more than we can. Let me see if I can quickly. So you click on the devices, go into Echo and Alexa, and it'll have your devices. You can touch the device, and
I could follow up the rest with that. Thanks.
And here's you edit the name, but I think you have to give it a name. At least I thought you did, but this is where you can change the name and call it something else. Because I've moved them from one room to the other. What used to be the downstairs bedroom is now called the office.
Mhm.
So you can rename them.
Okay, I can figure it out from there.
And that's how you do the drop in. You use this name to drop into them.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can create groups to kind of go beyond your original question. But if I wanted to group these two together, or maybe I have and call them downstairs, then you could say, Alexa, play music downstairs. It would play on these two, but it wouldn't play it on this one upstairs.
Oh, great, great.
So you can group them and do lots of more elaborate things with them.
Wait, it's Ann.
Go ahead, Ann.
Wait. Back to the emergency part of it. How far away do you have to be for Flex or Dot to hear you?
It's pretty much for another person to hear you. So
Yeah.
if a person standing beside Alexa could hear you, she probably can too. And it's good to just go ahead and test that. I mean, so you could go, walk away from her and just say, Alexa, what time is it? And see if she hears you and answers, and then walk a little bit further away and say it again. But especially if you raise your voice, we've got one in the kitchen, and then the living room is out, next to the kitchen. And I can talk to that one from sitting in the couch in the living room. I have to raise my voice, but I can yell into the kitchen and she'll hear me.
Is it better to have a Dot or a Flex? I mean, first you get the Dot, but then as a supplement, another Dot or a Flex?
Well, the Dot has better speaker. So if you're playing music, you'll get better sound. And now right now, one of the deals is to go with the, where was it? That older, which is the same one that I've got, this Echo 3rd generation, which is the one generation older, is the same price as the Flex. So
okay.
It was $40. It's now $24.99. They've just dropped the price. So that's a deal right now.
Okay.
But normally, you got to decide, do you want to pay $40 versus $24 if it's just to put one in the garage so that, but either one's a pretty good deal. Now the normal one is, they got to run a sale on all of them right now. This one's normally $50 and it's $29. So
I'm
now's
just
the
looking
time
at
to get in.
the emergency part of it. I
Yeah.
want the best information about the emergency.
Yes. So that's, normally this one's like $15 or $20 cheaper than the cheapest Echo. So that's why I point this one out, because it's usually the cheapest one. But right now, they got the Echoes at the same price.
Okay.
But it's not that one's better. It's it's the cheapest. It's kind of the
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, because I'd say the Dot is better just because of the sound. Now, I guess another advantage here is if there's no place to put it, because you would have to set the dock here and have a cable. So if it's in an area like a workshop where there's not a good place for it, this just plugs into the outlet. It's another difference between the two.
All right. Thank you.
Wade, I have a question. I have a Dot and I have another Alexa device that's not, like whatever you call it, like made by somebody else. So I can control, when you were going into, like right now, you have the settings. Am I controlling or naming the other device from the app? Like, so as long as I turn on that other Alexa device, I can name it on the same app that I'm using for the Dot?
Yes, yeah. In fact, when you enable that device, you do it through your phone, and you'll have to give it a name, and it'll be here under your Echo and Alexa devices.
And you got to that devices section by going into settings initially?
No,
So you
down
went
here at the very bottom where it says devices.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now those settings that you set go to all the devices. Now there are a few settings you can do at the device level, but pretty much those settings, like your flash briefing, that would work on any of these devices.
But if I'm just going to set it up and name one, I go to devices and then click on Echo and Alexa, and then that'll take me to naming them.
If you've already set it up, yeah, if you got a brand new one, you would click the plus.
Okay.
Up here in the upper right. And that's where you would then add a new device. If you've already got one in there and you want to rename it, you would come into here. And if I wanted to take this and make it be something else, I can come up here and edit the name.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
And there are a few settings at the device level, but most of them are at the overall level.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
This is another Jackie, not the one you talked to already. I got in on a little late on the program. But anyway, my question is, I haven't soon to be 3 years. I was never able to get it working. And I don't know if anything is wrong with it or not, but is there any way that I can figure out how to get it working, or if it's working? Do I need to try to return it even though I've had it for too long, or how do I work that problem out?
Probably the best thing to do is to call Amazon. Their support is pretty good.
Okay.
And let them walk it through so they can kind of help troubleshoot to see if it's working.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Yeah, because I've had, like I said, the Echo Dot. It's been here probably going on 3 years. Thank you.
Yeah, it should still work, but if the normal setup doesn't work, give them a call. They've got pretty good support.
Okay, thank you.
And we are out of time. We had such good questions. I let it run over time, but I enjoy all the great questions. But let me go to the closing. I do want to mention a couple of related classes. There is an Alexa intermediate class where we pick up where this one left off and get into some of the more advanced skills if you're interested in going a little deeper with Alexa. And there's an introduction to smart homes where we talk about using Alexa to control your lights, your heaters, your thermostat, the garage door, those types of things is what the smart home class is. I mentioned that there's an email coming out after class, and I want to briefly tell you about that. So the email will have several sections. There's a class notes section, and in that class notes sections, there's links to some websites with additional information. Some of it's the same we covered today, and some of it is some new information. For example, one thing that sometimes comes up, it didn't in this class, was privacy issues, but there's a link in there to an article talking about Alexa privacy issues. So take a look at those links. There's some really good links in there. You can recommend the class to a friend. You can post a link via Facebook, or you can send a link via email. If you click give feedback, it opens our feedback form where you can provide feedback on the class, rate the class, and rate the guide. There's also links to 3 other classes that you can click on. And there's a link here. If you click view schedule, it'll take you to our website where you can book another class. And again, the quickest way to book a class, if you're looking for a class, is just to type the name. So if you're looking for that Alexa intermediate class, just start typing Alexa, and there's the Alexa intermediate class. One last thing I want to show you, because we're already over time here, but something people have been asking for a long time. If there's a guide you like and you want to find other classes that guide teaches, you can now just put their name here in that search bar and hit enter. And in this case, this is my classes. It'll show you all the classes I'm teaching for the next couple of weeks. So you can, in fact, here's that introduction to smart homes class right there. You can just click here and book that class. All right. I'm sorry I ran you over a couple of minutes. I hope I'm not making you late for your next class, but I do want to thank you for attending. Hope you enjoyed the class as much as I did.
Thank you, Wade.
And have a great afternoon.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.